Hi everyone, I'm Søren the Powerapps Viking. In this video we're going to be working with the App Designer when creating model-driven apps on the Power Platform. So in the first 4 videos we were creating the solution, created tables, forms, and then views, and now we're going to tie it all together in the App Designer to create the complete app that is where you're using all of these elements. So let's go ahead and get into the correct environment, make sure we're in the correct solution, and from here on, we can create the app. So we'll go into New, then under App, and then select Model-Driven App. So this is the, we'll put in a name for the app. So this is the Powerapps Viking app. And here we have the navigation of the app itself and the navigation of the App Designer. We can see what's called pages. These are the all the information. So this can be tables, this can be dashboards, things like that you're adding to the application, things that you're using from your solution. Then you have your data points. This is we can see here everything that is in the app and everything that is in the environment itself. And then we have some automation we can add here as well. So, but right now we have our tables, so let's go into pages, and then under the navigation, let's click on New, and then we'll select a Dataverse table. Click on Next, and we'll select an existing table. So let's go ahead and search for the ship table. And we want to show this in the navigation. Click Add. Now we have the ships. We want to add the trip table as well. So let's go ahead, click New, select Dataverse table, existing table, and find this and show it in the navigation as well. So what we can see right off the bat is we have the this in the navigation. We have a new group here. So let's just call this the Viking Trip Planner. So now we have this under the Viking Trip Planner. We have our ships and our trips that we can have an overview of. We can see under ships, we're seeing the ships view. This on the views we're seeing here is active ships, and the same for trips here. For the trips, we don't want to see the subgrid, so we will remove this. So that was pretty much creating the application using all the existing things we have. We added the 2 tables we already created to our navigation here. So let's go ahead and try test this out. We'll save this and publish it afterwards. Saved, publish it. So now this application has been published, we're ready to click play and actually open the model-driven app. So it starts off by taking us to the ship overview. So let's go ahead and create a new ship here. So let's fill in a name for this, and we'll fill in a start date for when we started building this ship. So let's go back to it started in September, and the end date for when this ship was done was in the beginning here of November. Let's select which type of ship this is. This is a longship, and the number of crew members we can have of this ship is 16. Let's go ahead and save this. And let's actually also click on Save and Close. We'll go back to the overview, create a new ship as well. A start date for when this ship was first when we started building this, and an end date for this. So this was finished in the end of August. And this was a heavy freight carrying ship with the amount of crew members here. And we'll save and close this. So now we have an overview of the, we have these 2 ships that are created. We have an overview of this. So let's go into the to one of these ships here as well. And we want to add a new trip. So now, as I mentioned, when we were looking at the different types of forms, we created a quick rate form for the trip table. So when we create a new trip here from the ship table, we should be able to see this as a quick create instead of having to go in, navigate to the new type form. And this is exactly what happens. So we can stay here. So this is a summer trip. And we're planning this for next year. So actually, let's just make sure. So it's 2024, and we'll start in May. So let's start here in the middle of May. And let's say we expect to be back in June. So we'll say this is about a month of trip we have for this ship here. And then we'll save and close. And we can now see this summer trip is added here. Let's go ahead and add another trip, but for the other ship. So let's go into this ship, add a trip here. And this is going to be a winter trip. And this is starting here in December. Let's start this on the 10th, and it's going to end in January. Let's see here in the 10th as well. So we'll save and close this. Now for each of these ships, when I go into the trip overview, I only see the trip that is related to the ship. But if I go into the trip table, I will see all of the trips for each of the ships. So as I mentioned here, and we can see which ship this belonged to as well. So we now have this a different way of being able to view the data, either from a specific table and only seeing the related data, or we can look at the table and see all of the data that is on this specific table here. We also wanted to do another thing. We wanted to look at the lookup view we made. So let's make a new trip here directly from the trip table. So this is a autumn. This is a spring trip. So the start date of this is next year in March. Say here, the beginning of March. It's going to end the same month as well, just the end of March. And we want to be able to select the type of ship here. So we can see here we have the recent ships we've been looking for. And if I click here on enter, I'm just looking directly at all the ships in the ship table. And I can see that I specified that I wanted to see the name and the ship type. And I can see here that the name and the ship type for each of these ships here. So this is going to be a trip with the longship. And I'll go ahead and save and close this. And if I then go back to the ship table and select my longship here under trips, I'll be able to see this trip as well here. So that was a quick way of creating a model-driven app. You made the solution, you made the tables, the forms, the views, and tied it all together in the app designer. And see the ability to create this data and manage this data effectively, and also tying it together. So have fun. If you have any questions or any comments about it, then please leave either a comment on YouTube or reach out to me on X or LinkedIn or anywhere else, and feel free to ask any questions and have fun with making your model-driven apps. Bye, everyone.